So there's this tiny Asian chick who's like so awesome sauce, right? You know, doing the cool S thing, smoking Smarties, downloading malware off a LimeWire, that sort of thing. Anyway, she and the gals, Priya, Miriam, and Abby, are at that tender age where you want to see Shigo from the Kim Possible show take off her clothes for reasons they don't quite understand. One night, after a day of innocent gallivanting, Mei accidentally draws self-insert doujinshi where she's engaging in non-consensual hugging with the convenience store clerk. Naturally, her mom, who's kind of a baddie, sees her hentai and drags her ass over to Dylan Sprouse, where she pulls a full-blown Karen on him despite that meme not even existing in 2002. That very night, Mei dreams about hot dudes, but something's not quite right. The dudes in her dream are distinctively hairy, with notable claws, snouts, and ears that should be a turnoff, but for some reason are just humanoid enough to be indisputably attractive. Anyway, she wakes up to find that her sudden onset puberty has taken artistic license to turn her into a giant Retsuko. Mama Mei realizes that she's going through the change and pulls out a pack of, okay, you know what? I've had enough. I've tried to be humorous about this, but I just can't take this sitting down, man. All this period stuff with the cramps and the tampons is incredibly inappropriate for a children's movie. I mean, think about it. There's probably 5 or 6 old men in the entire world with a fetish for bleeding and distressed prepubescent girls. How could Pixar be so callous as to provide them free porn like that? Like, is it so hard to invite this handful of dudes into the writer's room and be like, I'm sorry, I didn't realize our very existence as women was such a threat to your uncontrollable libidos. Please allow us to overhaul our entire production pipeline just for you. In fact, why don't you just take my panties on the way out? Like, I don't think that's asking a lot, do you? Anyway, the mom catches her daughter spazzing out and is like, oh god, it's happening. What's happening? Okay, so here's the skinny. See, your great-grandma to the 5th power was like the town superhero, but in exchange for her powers, she made a deal with the demon lord that all of her female descendants be cursed by the same deadly affliction. Furry-ism. The what-ism? Furry-ism. A sick, degenerative disease that makes you want to touch, feel, and even bang anthropomorphic characters of which you have a personal kinship with. Oh, well, that doesn't sound so bad. But don't worry, kiddo. There's a conversion therapy that'll zap the freak out of you in no time. The market price for it is a little high right now, but I do know a back alley guy who will do a 1-day crash course for 21 and some dumplings. So, the gals find out that Mei's a furry, and the Abster is like, you're kinda turning me on right now. Then they decide to be a couple of bad bitches by attending FurryCon, where, incidentally, the hot new band Backsync Kids on the Block will be performing. But the mom's like, I ain't letting you anywhere near that pit of degeneracy. And Mei's like, no, see, the con is only for the good furries that only appreciates the idea as a form of self-expression. I'm not one of those losers that, like, actually wants to fuck them or anything. Is that so? Then tell me, Mei, what does this make you feel? I don't know. What Disney movie are they from? Alright, you can go. Thanks, Mom. By the way, there's gonna be a gyrating boy band there with members that I actually kinda do wanna fuck. You cool with that? Are they furries? No. Here's some condoms. So, the gals are ready to get their freak on, but remember that they're a bunch of broke-ass kids who are too young to use Ticketmaster. But luckily for them, a couple of chicks discover Mei's PG-13 furry art and are like, hey, Mei, you do commissions, girl? 'Cause your content's pretty bitchin'. And thus, Mei and her friends run some covert ops by selling off prints of Mei's drawings to the entire student body, thereby kicking off the early rise of furaffinity.net. Soon the girls are rolling in mad stacks, and this Tyler punk comes up one day being all, hey, how much for a fully toned render? $10 up front, no backgrounds. Okay, but when you draw it, can you, not put clothes on them? No can do, man. I only produce content that's safe for work. I know, but look, I'm desperate, man. If you make an exception, I'll give you 100 big ones I stole from my dad's wallet. Sorry, bro. Rules are rules. And I'll throw in this easy bake oven. Sold! So because they don't want anthro tits circulating around the school, they agree to run the exchange of goods at the dude's house. And then Mei's like, guys, I gotta confess. At first, I kept telling myself I drew furries because it was artistically challenging, but the truth is, I also draw it because I just think furries are fucking hot. Man, talk about stereotypical, am I right? Hey, ain't nothing wrong about that, girl. Yeah, who cares what people think? You go do you. Thanks, guys. It's nice to know I've got fellow furries to have my back. Oh, actually, we think furries are creeps. We're just tagging along for the Backsync kids. I'm not. It's alright, man. It's alright. Back at the temple, Ming cracks her daughter's My Password journal and discovers her furry porn. So she makes a mad dash for the Tyler kid's place and is like, "Bitch, if I catch you engaging in bestiality again before the appointment, I'm not just gonna kick your ass. I'll be very disappointed in you." Seriously though, I can't really blame the mom too much in this instance. Like, yeah, she's a close-minded hard ass, but May wasn't really putting herself in the best light here. Like, she did knowingly mislead her mom into thinking she had control over her actions when she clearly did not. And that deception nearly caused her to terrorize a kid to the point of tears. Like, if this wasn't a kid's movie, this dude would have PTSD up the wazoo. I'm not saying the mom wasn't unfair to the girls, or that she shouldn't have listened to them more, but given how much May fucked up in this case, I think some measure of consequences is warranted here. Anyway, the quack exorcist tries to banish May's puberty from whence it came, but May pulls back at the last second and is all, "Sorry fam, but here's the truth. I schlicked to R18 Nick Wilde comics, and I'm fucking proud of it!" So, May starts gunning for FurryCon, where her mom pops up to whoop her ass. But once she's at the venue, Ming's like, "Oh god, the fursuits, the artist alleys, the open-minded mentality, no, not again, not again!" So, it turns out that Mama May has been repressing her furry-ism for 20-some years, but the sudden concentration of anthros causes her condition to flare up so bad that it ascends her to another plane of existence, along with May, her aunties, and grandma, because they're in this movie too. So Ming's like, "May, you can't just start doing all this furry shit!" Why not? Because it's so freaking cliche! You really want the neighbors to be all, "Hey, look, it's that nerdy Asian girl with the freaky degenerate hobbies. I bet her mom pushes her to get straight A's." You do, by the way. But why should I care? The kind of lizard people that get me off is my business alone. Oh god, it's an actual kink for you. Yes, I'm guilty of being a total stereotype. So what? That doesn't make me any less complex as a person. I still like doing the normal kid stuff like watching SpongeBob and shopping at Claire's. I just like selling furry art and going to conventions now as another hobby of mine. Wait, you can sell furry art? Well, yeah, like how do you think I paid for the tickets? And so, Ming allows her daughter to wear her anthro ears and tail in public because Karen's little outburst resulted in millions of dollars in property damage and at least a 200+ body count. But honestly, who cares about criminal charges because we all learned a valuable lesson. It doesn't matter what your personal inclinations are or what unorthodox thing gives you pleasure. Because an Asian immigrant family will allow you to do whatever you set your mind to so long as you give them enough money to fuck off. Okay, like, honest question, does anyone actually watch these videos beyond this point? Like, be legit. But hey, if you're still here, thanks for watching this video, guys. If you want to see more of this content, you know the drill. Leave a like, watch more of my videos, share with your friends, add to your favorites and all that jazz. And as always, I got that Patreon thing going on, so hey, show me a little love over there if you can. But once again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned.